Hi, everyone. Welcome to Career Conversations. Our guest today, Marion Degrace, is a dedicated French foreign language teacher. Her passion for education has been guiding her journey since 2012. Having lived in Latin America, she had the incredible opportunity to learn French across various institutions, engaging with a diverse range of students from children and teenagers to adults. Marion, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, Mira. Thank you to invite me to this discussion.
Tell us about your career journey.
Well, I'm a French teacher for foreigners. So I teach French from, since more than 10 years now. And after my studies, I was supposed to teach French for to adults more than children. And I taught French in France, and after that, I went to Mexico and South America for years to to make an experience as a French teacher and to teach to Mexican teenagers, adults, and Ecuadorian people who wanted to learn French. So it was very intense and it was a very good experience. And I stayed there years, and I worked um, in schools and private schools always, or public schools, but in the Mexican uh, like it's an high school, a Mexican high school, and they learn French or Italian or Portuguese. So I was there. I stayed there, and I began with teenagers in high school in Mexico. It was very, very interesting. It was my first experience in a foreign country, and I was very young. And Mexico, it's quite it's quite an adventure.
Why do
So
you say
yeah,
that? Why do you say that?
because it's very different. It's very different. It's a country very, very like very s- not stressed, but it's a culture very different from mine. So it was for a first experience. It was very intense. Maybe to go in Spain or Italia or Portugal uh, should be less intense.
Okay, okay,
It was very at the opposite of my my culture. So yeah, it was an experience. And teaching, it was my first experience teaching to teenagers. So it was also another experience, or an experience in an experience. So it was very full of experience. And I didn't speak Spanish when I was there. So it was for me, I was a student learning Spanish and I was teaching French. So it was a big challenge.
okay. So, what do you do now?
Now I am come back in France, and I teach French in a high school, in a classroom, for teenagers who have to speak French because they are in the system, school system in France, and they have to get exams and continue the studies in France. So they have 1 year to learn French. So I do it from since 4 years now in an high school in France, and I teach online for a private school to adults who, yeah, also have to learn French for the job or just as an hobby. It depends. And they live in Switzerland, so in the French part of Switzerland. So they need French. So I
Okay.
do both. I teach online and I teach in a classroom.
So you've been doing a lot of teaching,
Yeah, a lot.
a lot. Now, how did you discover that you want to teach French? This is what you want to do.
Mm, at the beginning, I I I didn't want to be a specific French teacher. I just wanted to be a teacher, but a teacher for children in France, for the primary school. And at uh, at the university, I learned to be a teacher for children. And I remember I had a friend, and she was learning to be a French teacher for foreigners. And I was
Okay.
like, wow, that's so nice. I didn't know. I didn't know it could be possible. I didn't think about it. And so I changed my way, I was in a way. I changed my way and I began to learn to be a specifically French teacher. And after 1 year in the university, I went to Mexico to to have an experience as a French teacher in front of somebody who need to speak French, to learn French, and somebody who doesn't know nothing in French, like from the beginning, zero. So it was a big challenge. I liked it so much. I came back in France. I finished my studies at the university, my master, and I knew I want to be a French teacher, no matter where, in France or in another country, but I want to learn French. And um, eh, no problem with the public if they are children or adults, just somebody who doesn't know French and who wants to learn French with a big motivation. So at the beginning, I wasn't supposed to be a French teacher, but just a teacher.
Okay. Okay. From what you say, sounds like you have a very strong desire to teach French to
Mm,
foreigners,
yeah,
to people who know zero about French.
yeah,
Why?
absolutely.
Why why do you want to teach them so much?
Um, I don't know exactly, but it's because it's a big challenge, and I like the challenges. And it's very nice to see somebody to improve the level of a new language, you know. And when you start from the beginning, the the progress is very, very, it's fast and long at the same time, you know.
Yeah.
You learn fast, but sometimes you come back and you go, and you come back. So it's very interesting because the people want to learn. So it's not something you um you like, they want to learn. So there is a big motivation. It's not like to teach mathematics to somebody he doesn't want to learn mathematics. I remember when I was in the high school, uh, mathematics was the worst for me. So learn mathematics was no, no, not possible. But my teenagers and my public is motivated. So I get motivated because they are. So that's very nice in my profession. That's why it's something very interesting because there is a real link. There is a it's an exchange, you know.
Yes.
They want to learn, I want to teach, and they 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 want to, I want to. So that's very, very, it's a balance, you know. So that's nice.
How does this exchange, this beautiful exchange, they want to learn, you want to teach, they are motivated, and that helps, that makes you motivated. How does this experience of teaching them make you feel?
I feel very good teaching. Yeah. I really, I enjoy it because it's beautiful, it's useful to learn from them. For them it's very, very useful. So it's a beautiful exchange. And it's an exchange very nice because they learn, but I learn too. I learned a lot, because they are from everywhere, and they come with the cultural part of them, a new language I don't know. I learn one thing every day at least, and
Wow.
they teach me. So you know, it's a very beautiful exchange for me and for them, I think, as well.
I'm sure it's for them as well, because it sounds like more like a friendship
Yeah,
where two people learn rather than a teacher and a student, because you
absolutely.
are learning from them and they are also learning from you.
Yeah, I always made and make um, a great connection with my students, you know, online or in a classroom. Maybe with a teenager is more complicated because they are teenagers, and when you are in front of a group, it's not the same
Yeah.
as if you are on well, online and just one to one. So it's more complicated with the teenagers. But at the end of the day, you feel something, and I stay with them like 1 year at least. So after 1 year together, of course you have a connection, you have something, even though they are teenager with their stories, with their backgrounds, of course. But there is always a relationship, but maybe more with the adults, because you can speak about things more maybe concrete, or some actuality. The you are I am less in the teaching, like with the rules, you know. In school you have you have to obey the and respect the rules, and make your exercise, do it now, and I repeat, and maybe for my teenagers, I am the, the teacher. Oh no, the French teacher again and again, and I don't want to learn French, but I have to. With the adults, it's not like this, so it's easier. But there is always a relationship with the
Of course,
students.
of
Yeah.
course. But I mean, you did make it very clear that you are not very strict on the rules.
No.
You go according to the student and how they learn best. And I know you mentioned that it's a challenge to teach someone who knows zero French,
Hmm.
right? But what other challenges do you face when you teach?
When I am in front of my teenagers in the classroom in the high school, I have a group with almost 20 teenagers, and they come from everywhere. So my challenge is to be clear for everybody, but they have their backgrounds, they have their rules, they have their habits. So that's not that's not always easy to understand somebody with another culture, French culture, me, and saying something in a language I don't understand nothing. What is she saying? Is she speaking to me or to you? Or so my challenge is my biggest challenge. It's to not be don't be no to not be the enemy of my students.
Okay. And at the
You know?
same time, get them to pay attention and like French.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So, in essence, what you're trying to say is you want them to form a close bond with you as a teacher and feel
Absolutely.
comfortable with you
Yeah.
and not see you as an enemy, but instead see you as a friend.
Exactly. Exactly. And that is my hardest job every day, every hour. And when I have a new student coming in my classroom, because they are we don't have the same group all the year, some of them leave, some of them come. So maybe tomorrow I'm gonna have another new student, and I don't know. So that is very hard to keep a very good relationship with the group, the entire group, you know. So yeah, it's like a manager, I manage my students, my teenager full of hormones and more. So not very interesting to learn French uh, for everyone, more interesting to text a friend or do something else.
Of
So
course.
that's my big challenge, to keep
Okay.
to keep them in touch with the French every day with me, to be a friend and not an enemy, and to make the ambient comfortable for everybody, and to not be afraid of me,
Mm,
afraid, scared to ask something,
yeah.
you know, because they don't understand or something else. They, I want them to be comfortable and not afraid to ask. I have to repeat, I can make another sentence, I can everything. I just want them to be fine. And that's a big deal.
It's so important because there are students who feel very embarrassed or
Hmm.
shy to ask questions because they think that their question is maybe not a good question,
Exactly.
sometimes. So I think it's very important what you're doing or what you're doing to make them feel comfortable. I think it's so important
Yeah, yeah,
for all
absolutely.
students.
Absolutely. And it's easier with the adults online because after the presentation, you have 1 hour or 2 hours speaking, learning, and teaching French. You, of course, you create a relationship, not at the first hour, but every week, 1 hour a week for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, three maybe. It's it's easier to have this link, this relationship, because there is nobody else. So it's but that's my challenge online too, because for me it's the most important thing. If you feel good in if you feel good, you learn well.
Oh, yes.
So
Yes.
I do my best. I do my best.
I
So
think it's
that's my big
amazing. I think it's
challenge.
amazing because you sound like someone who's very intuitive,
Mm-hmm.
and I get the impression that you really pay attention to the needs of every student
Yeah,
that you have.
that's my goal, to catch the needs of my students. I ask them, what do you want to do? How do you want to do it? Do you have an idea if you want to to do more writing or speaking or anything? It's okay for me. So it's very important for me to keep them very motivated to learn French.
Yes.
Mm,
If not, how are they going to continue to learn French, right?
exactly. Exactly.
So I'm going to ask you this question.
Yeah.
Is it more challenging to teach adults or teenagers and children? Which is
Mm.
more difficult?
That's a good question, Mira. Um, huh. In my situation, I can say that it's more difficult to teach to my group of teenagers because for me it's I spend more energy with them, because I have to be energetic every single second. So I I have to keep an eye on everybody every minute. So for me, it's more difficult to teach in front of my teenagers than with my adult students. But it depends. In general, without my situation, I and with my background and my experience, I can say maybe no, I stay with my opinion with the teenagers. Yeah, because I already taught in front of a group of adults in a classroom as well, but they are more, quiet. They are
Yeah.
more. It's easier. It's easier.
Teenagers always have something more interesting to do besides French.
Hmm. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Mm-mm.
How do you overcome this challenge of teaching the teenagers? That means it's very difficult, right, to get them to pay attention and all that. So, for example, when they don't pay attention, when they don't want to learn, when they are not interested, what do you do?
Mm, if I see, for example, an activity doesn't work in my group because they don't want to do it, or they do it but without any motivation, and I can feel it, in one tech. So I change, I adapt. I
Okay.
adapt and I focus on what they want to do now. It's not a French à la carte, it's not no. I am still the teacher, the boss of the group. But if I can feel um, a low motivation, I change the activity. So I always have to have something else to propose. Oh, look,
Something else, a backup plan. Plan
exactly.
B.
Plan B or C or D, I don't know. But yes, I always have to have another activity to propose, something maybe more funny, more about actuality or music or a movie, something like this. Because with a teenager, with teenagers, the attention, the concentration is not like an adult.
Yes.
So you have to change. And I work with them at least 2 hours a day, maybe sometimes 4 hours with the same group in one day. Imagine, 4
Wow.
hours with your French teacher in front of you, and you are a teenager and you just want to go out and speak about the life. Of course, the French teacher is not very interesting at this moment. So I dance. I do things to keep
You
the
mean you really
attention.
dance?
Or maybe, yeah, it's possible. It's possible.
Wow.
It
Okay.
Teaching is acting. I am in a representation every day. I have my public. I'm on stage. My board the, is my space.
Script.
My script. My house, and my desk is my mind, and I am acting in front of them every day. So if you, I think if you don't have enough energy of, or if you are moody, or if you don't feel good, that's very hard. But there is always something to adapt, and it will be okay with them.
Sounds like you're doing an amazing job, Marion. I don't know that many teachers do go out of the way like this to adapt to the
Mhm.
students and make sure they teach in a way that's interesting for the students.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I think.
Congratulations to you.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. But congratulations to them, because they are the principals, participants to the act
Yeah.
and the
Yes, they make
learning.
you more creative.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, of course. My mood depends of them, of there, because when they are like this, a teenager, you can easily imagine a teenager like this. So if they go in the classroom like this, it's very hard to, okay, allez, let's go,
Yeah.
we go. It's very hard, and that's why I spend a lot of energy to keep them like this, to keep them at the top of the concentration and the motivation. But it's not every day like this, and it's not no, it's not possible, but I do my best.
I'm sure you do. Now, from what you have described, there's a lot of energy and work and preparation, to teach this group of people or this group of students.
Mhm.
and you teach them day in, day out, every day, for such a long time, for such a long period.
Mhm.
How has this impacted your life? How has it affected you?
Mm, honestly, after a day working, teaching, I'm exhausted.
I can
And
imagine.
yeah, and when my day in school is over, my other day with my online school begins.
Wow.
So 2 days in one day. But it's, you get used to do that. I do that for 10 years now, more than 10 years. So I'm used to prepare my lessons. I have all in my mind. I know where I want to go to. I know the goal. I know how to reach them. So it's quite easy for me to prepare it, to prepare the lessons. But I really feel tired after a day teaching because you you are always in the communication. You are giving you are giving a lot of energy, and you are always focused on what the the student is saying. You have to repeat, you have to ask something, especially this, because you want to see that. So that's, yeah, a lot of concentration for me, for them, of course. So yeah, I feel tired, but I feel happy because I like teaching. So that's my job, that's my life, it's like this.
When you get very tired,
Mhm.
burnout, what do
Mhm.
you what do you do to recharge?
I go to the mountains and
Wow.
I hike. I hike.
Wow.
I yeah, of course. I do sports. I read. I listen music, classic music. I I go out because I'm in school. It's, of course, it's convenient to work at home because yeah, you are not in a classroom. But maybe you can feel tired to just to
Yeah.
stay in the same place hours and hours. So I need to go out. I need to breathe
Yeah.
fresh air. I don't need to speak anybody, but
Of
I
course.
just I just want to enjoy the nature, the sun, yeah, the weather, and I do that to just escape.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
Beautiful way to recharge.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Now, just backtracking a little bit,
yeah.
all your different ways of teaching different groups of students and all that,
Mhm.
how do your students respond to your teaching style? What is their reaction?
Well, their reactions are positive. Honestly, they always th- they are conscious about what I give them has implication, has energy, has joy to teach as well, of course. So it's positive. It's always positive, and I guess they are enjoying as well learning French with me because we laugh a lot, and it's always something. It's not dramatic, it's not strict, it's not you know I'm here to enjoy, and they are here to enjoy as well. So the response is positive. And they improve the level. Everyone. Okay, we spend a lot of hours learning, so they they improve the level. Yes, but no, I think it's positive. Mm. Even
So
the
when
teenagers.
oh yes, oh yes. So when you see them improve,
Hmm.
how does it make you feel?
Ah, so happy, so happy, and proud of them, because French is a language very hard. It's it's necessary to be brave, to be motivated to learn French, because it's a language very hard. There is always an exception. There is no rule, or there is always something different, you know? So I'm very proud of them when and I I tell them, look, now you are here. Remember when we started 6 months ago? You were just able to speak about your name, age, nationality, and now we are conversing. So that's nice, and they are proud of them as well, of course, always. So yeah, when I can see the progress, I'm so happy, so happy.
I think you should be proud of yourself as well, Marion,
Thank you,
for
but
all your
yeah.
efforts and it's very inspiring to listen to how you teach your students, how you adapt to different types of students.
Hmm.
Very inspiring.
Thank you,
Mm,
thank you very much. But it's
welcome.
that's why I like it, because now it's very interesting, and everyone is different, and you cannot you cannot use the same way to teach with everybody. So, and that's the nice way to teach, to check and to catch the details about everybody, and to guess, to try something, and maybe it's wrong, maybe it's not the right way to learn with this person, but let's change and let's try another way, and oh, this one is very, it's better, so let's continue in this way and see what happens. So that's always adapt adapting about the way to teach. So that's very interesting.
In your opinion,
Hmm.
is there a better way to teach French?
To teach, I don't know. Well, a better way, um, I think, to
What let me
teach.
explain myself in case I didn't, come across clearly.
Hmm. Yeah.
You are using so many different styles and methods to teach your students,
Hmm.
but do you think there is a better way in terms of the syllabus, the structure, the grammar, the comprehension? Is there a better way to teach French to people who know zero French?
Maybe to do, well, try to do, um, like to practice about writing, speaking, not just grammar, not just listening, not just writing, but a
Yeah.
mix of all the skills, and maybe as well, but it's not the better way to teach, but maybe the better way to learn. It's, of course, to be in the country and
Oh,
to be in contact with the people speaking. Even though you don't understand nothing, you get used to listen to listen French, but I think it's the same for English, Italian. Just you listen and it's you you keep it in mind inconsciently and you learn faster, I think. But it's not the best way to the better way to teach, but to learn. Yeah. So
Mm.
like a trip for students, for example, 3 weeks in France or 2 months in French, a summer, in a summer school or something like that. For me, it's the best way to learn and
Okay.
to teach, to to be motivated and to like it.
But you did mention just now that to teach them other skills like every day, how they talk to people, not just
Mhm.
grammar or writing or
I know.
things. So those things, do you think it will help the student if the teacher were to teach the students more everyday kind of skills, talking?
Of
Um,
course. Yeah, of course. It's easier. Well, for me, when I have my teenagers in front of me, I just want them to survive in France, to survive in the French language, difficult language, weird language. So I just want them to survive in France because they are here and you cannot learn like this.
yeah,
It's not possible. So make it uh, faster, of course, but not in a way you have to learn all the grammar, all the dictionary, all
yeah.
the, no, read me this book, please. No, no, it's not like this.
Okay,
I want them to be able to speak to speak short sentences at the beginning, just to survive in France. So it's not the same skill to
okay,
know conjugate a verb and to ask to the bakery a bread. It's not the same skill.
yeah,
So but it's okay, it's useful, the verb is useful, but to buy a bread in the bakery, it's useful as well. So
yeah,
it's complementary. And
okay,
they have to we have to, as a teacher, we have to connect those skills to make
yeah.
something very global and very, yeah, very essential.
Got it. Yes,
Mhm,
that makes a lot of sense.
mhm.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Oh, ho, what a question. Maybe doing the same thing, but so because both online and physical in the classroom, for me, that's the best. I like it. So maybe doing the same, but not in France, in another country, in a French school, because I need both. I need online and I need a classroom, because I'm scared to just teach online because it's too. Yeah, I don't I want a social life as well. So yeah.
You want that connection, that
Exactly.
physical connection.
So online, it's very well. I like it, but to be in front of them and to be in a classroom, that's the perfect balance for me. So
Yeah,
I would like to keep it online and in a French school everywhere in Europe or I don't know where, but maybe that's a good idea.
I think so too, Mario, because
Mhm.
I think there will always be lots of people who want to learn French,
Mhm.
especially in Europe.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. What is your definition of owning your career? That means when I ask you,
Mhm.
Marion, how would you own your career?
Mm, honing the career for me, it's and to enjoy. the job and to like the job, because if you don't, you cannot enjoy what you do. And we spend a lot of time, hours in our life working. So please make it make it pleasant. And for me, it's to do what you like to do.
It's so important,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to teaching and it requires so much of attention and energy, your focus, your preparation.
Hmm.
You must really like it. If not, it's going to be hard.
Exactly, exactly, because you have the time in the classroom, but you have the time off the classroom, and this time is very important, because you are never, because for me, for example, I'm never off. I'm never off. I don't have a switch on off. No, I don't have it, because I'm always thinking about what I'm doing to do tomorrow morning with them. Ah, yeah, I remember. Okay, I do that. Oh, and this news is very, very nice. I could use it in my next lesson. So you are always, you are always in touch with uh, what you could do. Is it maybe interesting to do this exercise with this person or something else? So it's very hard when you are a teacher to be off your job. So that's not very pleasant every day, because yeah, you spend a lot of time thinking about your job. So that's why it's very important to like it.
It's I have to mention this. There was another language educator
Hmm.
on Career Conversations a few weeks back,
Uh-huh.
and her name is Simone, and she said the same thing. You cannot, there's no such thing as off, because she's always thinking about her students, what to teach them, how to make the classroom look better, things like that. So it becomes a very, very intrinsic, very important part of your life.
Of
You
course.
can't separate.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I totally agree with Simone. Yeah, you are always thinking about it, because there is always something interesting, something in you can use in the classroom, or maybe during the holiday as well. You are watching, I don't know, a documentary or something, and you think, oh, but it's very interesting, I could use it, I could do something with my student. So yeah, you are you are always thinking about it.
You have talked about your career for, say, 40 over minutes,
Hmm.
right, so far. Now that you have talked about your journey and what you have done and how far you have come, how do you feel?
I feel happy and lucky.
Lucky, why?
Because I'm every day in front of people very interesting with they make me travel every day. So I'm very happy to spend my time with them, because because it's very important for them, and it's very important for me. And I feel lucky because that is an amazing profession, I think, to teach, to have the chance to share knowledges and experiences, and I'm lucky because my profession is my passion. So that is perfect.
You know who else is lucky? all your students. They are very, very lucky.
You
They are
think?
very
Ah,
yes, yes, they
I
are very,
hope.
very I am sure they are very lucky to have you as the
Ah,
teacher
mm,
because you are so intuitive and you go out of your way to understand the students and to make sure they enjoy the lesson. I think they are very lucky. So kudos to you, Marion. Keep up the great work. Keep up the great work.
yeah, yeah.
Now,
I try. I try. Well,
viewers, if you would like to reach out to Marion, the details are in the description attached to this post. Please feel free to do so. Marion, before we close off, is there
mhm.
anything you'd want to tell our viewers?
Um, uh, learn French. It's an amazing language and very easy.
Really?
No, it's
Easy.
a joke. It's a joke. But shh.
Wow. Okay. No, I will not say anything. Learn French.
Exactly.
I'll
Learn
stop at
French.
that. Thank you so much, Marion, for joining us.
Thank you very much, Mira.
Thank you for sharing your career journey. It's been a pleasure
Yeah,
talking to you.
absolutely.
And, it's really inspiring to know the lengths to which you go to prepare lessons for your students, to understand your students, to make French very attractive for them.
Mhm.
Kudos.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. Viewers, thank you very much for listening to us. Till we meet again.